Jaguar is distancing itself from Land Rover in the name of luxury. Land Rover will fall to the wayside in favor of individualized Range Rover, Defender, Discovery, and Jaguar brands. Say goodbye to the old Land Rover. The storied off-road name, which dates back to 1948, is being phased out by Jaguar Land Rover as a vehicle brand. Instead, JLR's future SUV lineup will be grouped under three brand families: Range Rover, Defender, and Discovery, with the Land Rover name being retained as an overall trustmark for off-road technology and capability, and say hello to a new Jaguar. JLR's long-struggling car division is being reinvented as a high-end EV luxury brand, with its own, unique BEV platform and what insiders say is an exuberant take on the modernist design philosophy seen with vehicles such as the new Range Rover and Defender. The first of these new Jaguars, a high-performance four-door GT, will go on sale in 2025, with a price tag north of $100,000 and a target range of 430 miles. It will be the most powerful Jaguar ever built. The moves are part of a $19 billion investment over the next 5 years in new vehicles, new technologies, and new manufacturing operations announced by Adrian Mardell, the new JLR CEO. Mardell, formerly the company's chief financial officer, moved into the top job after former CEO Thierry Bolloré suddenly resigned last November after less than 18 months at the company. As it transitions to producing EV versions of all its models by 2030, and producing nothing but EVs by 2036. JLR is reducing the number of vehicle architectures from its current 7 to just 3. The first of these is MLA Flex, which underpins the Range Rover and Range Rover Sport models launched last year. MLA Flex, which is intended for the larger SUVs, the MLA stands for Modular Longitudinal Architecture, was designed from the outset to accommodate ICE, PHEV, and BEV powertrains. The first pure electric version of the flagship Range Rover will appear in 2024. The second architecture, dubbed EMA, was originally planned as a similar multi-powertrain platform, but for mid-sized models such as the Range Rover Evoque and Land Rover Discovery Sport, which are currently powered by transverse-mounted internal combustion engine. It is now a pure EV platform. EMA stands for Electrified Modular Architecture, and the first of the EMA models will appear in 2025. It is agnostic to battery chemistries, says JLR's Executive Director of Vehicle Programs, Nick Collins, which means its efficiency and range can be updated and improved over its life cycle. Both MLA Flex and EMA will be Land Rover-only platforms. The forthcoming electric Jaguars will all be built on a brand new, bespoke platform dubbed JEA, for Jaguar Electrified Architecture. The unique architecture is needed, Collins says, to allow the low ride height, low seat height, and dramatic proportions that will be the signature elements of Jaguar's new design language. Shifting the Land Rover brand name to a supporting role isn't as controversial a move as it might seem, says JLR Chief Creative Officer McGovern. The reality is Range Rover is already a brand, he insists. So is Defender. We love the Land Rover name, but it doesn't have as much equity as Range Rover, and Defender is rising fast, McGovern claims, adding that current buyers of those vehicles use those brand names rather than Land Rover when describing what they drive. People tell us they drive a Range Rover, not a Land Rover. A spokesperson added, somewhat confusingly, Land Rover will remain. It is strong, well known, and we will use that collective strength to give our brands authenticity and purpose. The Land Rover name remain on our vehicles, reinforcing our all-terrain credentials and technology capabilities. JLR's goal, says McGovern, is to become the creator of the world's most desirable luxury brands, and this is what is driving what he calls a house of brand strategy that will allow JLR to elevate the unique characteristics of each of its 4 uniquely British nameplates. Each, he says, will have its own unique interpretation of modern luxury. Range Rover's is refined modernism, Defender's brutalist modernism, Discovery's eclectic modernism, and Jaguar's exuberant modernism. The Range Rover and Defender interpretations of modern luxury are clearly expressed by the current models. The Discovery interpretation is, McGovern admits, a work in progress. But Jaguar, which alone will have more than $1.25 billion spent on it over the next 5 years, is the biggest gamble, while JLR has profitably surfed the boom in high-end SUVs. Range Rover Sport, and Defender currently account for 76% of JLR's total sales and have been instrumental in shifting the company's average transaction price from $55,000 per vehicle in 2019 to $88,000. It has struggled to figure out what to do with Jaguar, a brand long defined by sports cars and luxury sedans. The move to chase volume with products such as the XE sedan and the E-Pace compact SUV is now seen as a mistake. The reinvention of Jaguar, dubbed Project Renaissance, will involve a radical visual reimagination of the brand, says McGovern. It's not that the designs of the outgoing cars were bad. They were part of the strategy to increase Jaguar's mainstream appeal. But he acknowledges there's risk involved. How do you reconcile modernism with vehicles that have a past? We've done it with the Defender, McGovern says, showing a picture of the current Defender 90 with the 1948 Series 1. Then he shows a photo of an E-Type coupe, still regarded as one of the most beautiful production cars ever built. This is the challenge. He smiles. Will there be a sports car in the new Jaguar lineup? McGovern won't say. Will the new EV Jaguars look like EVs? BEV platforms open up the ability to move the windshield forward, he says. But does that give you an exuberant proportion? McGovern says his brief to the Jaguar design team was simple. When these cars appear for the first time, they have to have that jaw-dropping moment. We'll update with how the vehicle's names may be changed, and other corporate shuffling as we learn more.